Pep hinted about tiredness, fatigue, and a bit upset that, we may have to take the coach, or how do we get back to Manchester after the game. So there's no doubt in my mind he was going to make changes. I've not seen the whole side, but I know Haaland was on the bench, didn't come on.
I need to tell you, so did Newcastle. I mean, Newcastle made changes. I'm looking at the substitutes that they brought on. Gomara's come on at half-time. Anthony Gordon come on at half-time. Almiron come on second half. Anderson, Fabian Schär. So, you could argue that Newcastle have made changes as well. So, no.
But now Newcastle have gone through. Who have they got in the next round?
They're at United, aren't they? They're at Old Trafford.
Crikey. Well, it'd be very interesting to see what side they put out there. Because if they knock Man United out, they've got to be favourites to win it.
You could argue about favourites at the moment, them in Liverpool, surely.
Liverpool, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's an ideal opportunity because all competitions at the start of the season, at this moment in time, Manchester City start favourite, which is understandable. They're now out, so therefore it makes sense that what an opportunity to get silverware.
Absolutely, and we'll get the sport rounds from Coral later on. Now I want to join us now, look back at all last night's action. talkSPORT's voice of live football, Adrian Durham. Adrian, good morning.
Morning, Adrian. How are you, mate?
Buongiorno, Ali and Alan. How you doing?
Oh, very,
what a great
very,
forum,
very
mate.
nice.
Thank
Beautiful. You. We're in a massive sort of media marquee here where all the food outlets are, but overlooking part of the course. Beautiful sunshine, clear sky. It's going to be a scorcher
today.
Stunning. Can't wait, Adrian.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I'm looking forward to the Ryder Cup as well, but you boys being out there, very, very fortunate. I'm sure you'll behave, though.
Well, we're meant to come home Saturday, but look, I'm now acting managing director. I'm going to change things. We're going to be here Saturday and Sunday as well. I'm not having it. You can't be out here going home Saturday morning.
Adrian, I'm looking forward to his phone call to Viv. That's the phone call I'm looking forward to.
Right there. What's a galley of the nightmare?
What about last night then? What game did you watch?
I was at Newcastle Man City. I was at that big one, and Ali's right. Newcastle did make changes, but they brought on their big guns at half-time. Anthony Gordon really upped everything. He put in a crunching challenge start of the second half. It had to be absolutely perfect, and it was. And it really lifted the whole team, the whole crowd, the whole place. And that really set Newcastle on their way. They were pretty awful in the first half. Man City dominated. Probably should have scored 2 or 3 goals. Alvarez missed a sitter. Yeah. And then Newcastle took over in the second half. But City didn't bring on the big guns. Haaland stayed on the bench. Kyle Walker, the captain, stayed on the bench as well. Remember, they're without De Bruyne and John Stones as well. And afterward, I heard what Pep said there. I was in his press conference, and he basically said he doesn't have the energy for this competition. He thought his players played well, but it felt to me, just as you said, felt like he was slightly relieved to be out of the competition.
Well, Adrian, I think there's a great chance of Premier League, Champions League double again. I really, really do. And he's not daft. He'd have looked at all the games, looked at all the opposition, especially Champions League, and he'll think we're the best team in it. So, I can't blame him. I really, and as you said, first half, they take the chances. The game could have been beyond Newcastle United. So, I don't think he doesn't care. I just feel that, okay, we're out, let's move on. Let's do the treble or the double.
Well, the one thing I would say, Adrian, just to back that up as well, listen, he might not be too disappointed about the competition, but the one thing you cannot level at him is he has always, I think, shown that particular tournament the utmost respect. Just look at the record in it recently. So, he will be disappointed, but I don't think it's the end of the world.
By the way, Ali and Adrian, we mentioned about Liverpool, Newcastle favourites. Arsenal are still in there. They've got to go to West Ham. What's the pick of the ties for you with United against Newcastle, Adrian?
Well, that's a rerun of last year's final. So, yeah, absolutely. I mean, Newcastle are having it tough. If they're going to go all the way again, they're having it tough, aren't they? Home to Man City and then away to Manchester United. I really like Everton, Burnley. It's Sean Dyche up against his old club. And I think that's great. Blackburn have played 3 Carabao Cup ties, scored 17 goals. And them going to Chelsea, I think, is really interesting. Blackburn have got some really good youngsters they've been playing in this competition, and they've been banging in the goals. So I think that's a really, really interesting one. And Ipswich, I think.
Ipswich are flying at the moment, and that's going to be a good game.
I think that's a winnable game, yeah.
Exeter, Adrian, Exeter against Borough. Do you give Exeter any chance at all at home?
Well, it's a nice short trip for Middlesbrough, isn't it? Exeter against Middlesbrough. I mean, the thing with Exeter is, I mean, you're not going to be there and back in a day, are you? The thing with Exeter is they were going great. They've had a great start under Gary Caldwell this season in League One, right up there. Then they lost 9-0 at home in the Papa John's last week, and then lost 3-0 at Oxford in a big game at the top of the weekend. Recovered with the victory over Luton. So They can go one way or the other, Exeter. But Middlesbrough might just be getting their act together. They scored some great goals last night. I watched their goals. And
People
I
in
think that
Exeter don't even know where Middlesbrough is.
Adrian, I was just going to say, just a quick one, mate, before we're out of time. Massive result actually for Chelsea and Pochettino last night, and obviously a real boost with Jackson scoring the goal.
Yeah, Nicholas Jackson's goal was really good. He got another one that was incorrectly ruled out for offside, no VAR. So Chelsea made it through, and I think a lot of people thought they might struggle. And as I say, home to Blackburn, who've been goal machines. You'd have to say, though, Chelsea would be favourites with the players they've got to go through. So it's a chance for them to get a winning momentum, I think.
Well done, Adrian. Thanks,
Adrian. Have a good day, mate.
Congratulations to Mansfield of Port Vale, who'll make a fifth round as well.
I mean, that's brilliant.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.